not there. We're still screaming for 40 acres and a mule. Guess what? We ain't got that. Why is it, man? You got to ask yourself these things. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? And it's we the only people that go through that, man. Our people are locked up at the border still, trying to come over to a land that was theirs first. Because you know, Texas, California, Arizona, all that stuff, that was Mexico. That's why you have names like San Antonio, right? San Francisco, things like that. That's where you get that from, man. But they take you and throw you out and tell you, you can't come back over here. You're illegal now. What sense does that make? Right? Read it.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14.
Right.
Is Israel a servant?
Right.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Right.
Why is he spoiled?
And that's the question. Is Israel a servant? Is that all we're doing is being slaves, man? Because you got to understand, over thousands of years, man, we was in a captivity under the Assyrians. We was in a captivity in the Egyptians. We was under the captivity of the Babylonians. We was under the captivity of the Greeks. We was under the captivity of the Romans. And now guess what? We in modern day Rome now.
Like modern day slave?
That's right. All the way up until modern day, man. Right? And I'm going to show you that. Give me Joel 3 and 5, I believe it is. Right? Joel 3 and 5. Give me Deuteronomy. You got something? Go ahead.
Lamentations 4 in chapter 4, verse 17.
Right.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Right.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
And that's the problem with our people, man. Our people would rather go and vote for another nation of people than to stick together and love one another. Right. Guess what? Joe Biden told you, you ain't black unless you vote for me. Right? What kind of shit is that? Right? And that's exactly what he said. And they went and voted for him in droves. Right? But we have looked for a nation for so long to save us, man. Our women, they get benefits, man, from the government. How do they get it? We get Section 8 and food stamps, but how do they get that? They got to kick their man out of the house. The man can't be there. And if they get found in that house, guess what? That gets taken away.
Yeah. I read about that.
You see what I'm saying? Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 7, right? And this is what I'm talking about, man, because, you know, our people have always looked for other people to save us. Instead of coming back to the Bible and understanding it's your history book, it's your God, you need to come back and keep the commandments of your God and change your ways. Right? Give me Joshua 1 and 8 real quick. Right? Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Right? Read that.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. And it reads, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad.
What the Lord say?
Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad.
But what?
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
And that's the problem. You being depressed. You forget that you in the ghettos, man. You forget that you make up 70% of the prison population. You forget that you getting killed in the streets unjustly. Why? It's because you get a gift. Every year they might give you a little holiday. They gave you Juneteenth. That's about to come up. Right? And say, oh, let's give those niggas a holiday. They be all right. Right? Remember when Popeyes came out with that damn chicken sandwich? And all them damn niggas is running and going crazy. They got a gift. Our people are so easily manipulated. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he said. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, but a gift destroyed the heart. They come at you when you say, hey, guess what, man? We tired of being oppressed and we stand up for our rights. And they tell you, guess what, man? You spewing hate. You out here teaching hate. No, I'm not. I'm telling my brother I love it, man. And separate from this world. That you are the greatest man on this earth, man. Everything you do, you turn into gold. Think about it. Just in the world, carnal things. In basketball, what would basketball be without the black man? What football would be without the black man? What music would be like without the black man and black woman? Think about it. The black man has invented the stoplight, the toilet, air conditioner, the internet. Right? Do you get credit for that? No. You might get one for a peanut butter. George Washington Carver. Oh, he made peanut butter. That's it. You know, that's it. We've made many inventions that's been stolen, and you get no credit for it. That's why the Lord said, surely oppression would make a wise man mad, but a gift is going to destroy your heart. That's why our women tell you, I'm strong and independent, and I don't need no man, because they get benefits. There's no other race of woman on earth that says I'm strong and independent. There's no black woman. Because they have their men in their homes. Their men take care of their children. Their men do what they're supposed to do, man. Right? But our men are running around here being whoremongers, gang bangers, thieves, hating their brothers. Right? You can see a man put his knee on your neck for 9 minutes and kill you and take your life. And you watching on the camera. But if your brother step on your shoe, you ready to blow his brains out. That's a problem.
Big problem.
Right? And you know why that is? Give me Deuteronomy 28:15. Right? I'm gonna show you what you got, Art. Okay, come on. Give me Deuteronomy 28.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Right.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Right.
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
What's gonna happen?
that all these curses,
What?
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the Lord said, guess what? If you don't hearken to my words, and you don't understand what I'm telling you right now and follow my commandments, guess what? I'm going to curse you. And I'm going to show you one of the curses that's on our people. Give me 54.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
So once upon a time, we used to be a loving and delicate people, man. We used to walk down the street, man, waving at what's going on, brother. Throw up the fist. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, brother? They used to call it Southern hospitality, man, down here. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I can't walk around the corner and look at my brother for 5 seconds without him saying, what you looking at, nigga?
Right.
Where you from? Why you got that color shirt on, bro? You know what I'm saying? He says your eye was going to be evil towards your brother. Right? And not only that, read on.
And toward the wife of his bosom,
And towards your woman. Right? Because our men are whoremongers, man. We treat our women like they dirt.
Right.
The most beautiful woman on the planet, but guess what? In your music, you call us whores and thoughts and bees.
Yeah.
I'm going to F your B and I'm going to throw her away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to create a baby with you and I ain't going to deal with you. I'm not going to marry you. I can love you for your body, but I don't love you for who you are, man.
Right.
I'd rather go to another nation and be with them than mess with you. Right?
Right.
That's a curse. And even more.
and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
What?
Which he shall lead.
He said, and toward the remnant of your children, which he shall lead. So I'm going to ask y'all a question. Did y'all grow up with y'all's father?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's a beautiful thing. Your father understood. He understood. But guess what? Majority of us didn't grow up with our fathers, man.
Right.
But guess what? Papa was a rolling stone. You know what I'm saying? Wherever he laid his hat was his home, man. You know what I'm saying? He in and out of Miss Jessie. He in and out of Miss Tammy. Now he over there with Jeanette and Pauline. You know what I'm saying? He got kids over here and over there.
Man.
And they don't even know him.
Right.
That's abundant in our communities, man. Our people are flooded with curses. It's crazy. And a big part of that is because we like to follow other nations rather than loving ourselves.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We look at this man and we say that's God. But guess what? In the Bible, he don't look like that.
Nah.
Christ is not a white man.
Nah.
But they tell you that he's a white man. They do that because it's a psychological, it's a strategic battle tactic.
That's right.
Show him that I am God and he will serve me, man. Period.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to serve me. And that stems from the plantation, right? I want to read you, brother, something real quick, man. You got something on? Right, hold that. I want to read you something on. Right? Get something right here real quick. Bear with me, bear with me. The phone is kind of slow. Right. Okay, con. Right. I'm gonna get y'all this. This is called the Willie Lynch letter. Right. Let's get there. Right. Okay, con. Salaki. Okay, con. Right. So I'm gonna read y'all this. This is called the Willie Lynch letter, man. Right, read that.
The Willie Lynch letter. This speech was said to have been delivered by Willie Lynch on the bank of the James River in the colony of Virginia in 1712.
Right.
Lynch was a British slave owner in the West Indies. He was invited to the colony of Virginia in 1712 to teach his methods to slave owners there.
Right.
Greetings, gentlemen. I greet you here. It says, I greet you here on the bank of the James River in the first year of our Lord, 1712.
Right.
First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves.
Right.
Your invitation reached me on my modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods for control of slaves.
For control of slaves. So they called in the big guns because they couldn't handle what was going on here. So they had to call in a professional to teach us how to control our slaves, right? And he's about to go into it, right? Read.
It says, ancient Rome would envy us if my program was implemented. As our boat sailed south on the James River, named for our illustrious king, whose version of the Bible we cherish, I saw enough to know that your problem is not unique.
Right.
While Rome used cords of wood as crosses for standing human bodies along its highway in great numbers, you are here using the tree and the rope on occasions. I caught the whiff of a dead slave hanging from a tree a couple miles back. You are not only losing valuable stock by hangings, you are having uprisings, slaves are running away, your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long. Too long for maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires, your animals are killed.
Right. So what he's saying is, man, look, y'all killing too many of these niggas, man. Y'all need to slow down. Right? You brought them over here for manual labor. You losing money. You got to put them to work, man. You doing too much. Because they was out here being brute beasts, man. Just killing. Being heartless, man. Right? Read on.
It says, gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce you to a method of solving them.
So what?
Of solving them.
So in their minds, this is solving the problem with training a nigga. Right? Read on.
It says, in my bag here, I have a foolproof method of controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years.
For how long?
300 years.
How long have we been in this land? Yes, this was been in 1712.
Oh, what's 300 years later? 2022.
2022. Right? Read on.
Right. It says, my method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves.
Right.
And I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes.
See that? So now I distrust my brother. Because guess what? It was imparted in you long time ago. You ever heard of something called generational trauma? As soon as you're born in this world, you have generational trauma within your psyche, in your blood, man. Right? It's you're born with it, man. And he said, read that again.
It says, I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes.
envy. Our people envy each other, man. If you got a better car than him, guess what? I gotta take that nigga's wheels, man.
Right.
He got some fire wheels. He don't need that. I'm gonna take that. His woman's fine. Guess what? I'm gonna take her for mine. Right? I want what he got. Cause he look just like me and he's a nigga. He don't deserve that. Right? We don't.
It says, these methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies,
Right.
and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about it. On top of my list is age.
Right.
But it's like it says, but it's their only, hold on, my bad. It says, on top of my list is age, but it's there only because it starts with an A.
Right.
The second is color or shade.
See that? So guess what? Now, if you dark skinned, you're not desired more than a light skinned brother. You know what I'm saying? Now they pin you against your brother because his skin color is different than you, man. Because he's closer to white, he must be right. The darker you are, the more wicked you are. So we're gonna put those black niggas in the cotton field. But we're gonna put that light skinned nigga in the house. Now we create envy between both. We create a barrier. Now his eye is evil towards his brother.
Like mind control.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Right, Rito?
Willie Lynch syndrome. It says, there is intelligence, size, sex, sizes of plantations, status on plantations, attitude of owners,
Right.
whether the slaves live in the valley, on a hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust.
What the Lord say?
I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust.
Distrust is stronger than trust. So guess what? If these niggas don't trust one another, guess what? This is a foolproof method. If we can turn these niggas against each other, we got them.
You know how he said the South against the West, the North against the East. It's just the same thing happening in the city. Dudes from the South side don't like the dudes from the West side. Dudes from the North side don't like the dudes from the East. You see what I'm saying? This is in every city in America.
Drama, man.
And it reads, it says that distrust is stronger than trust,
Right.
and envy stronger than adulation,
Right.
respect or admiration. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination,
In what?
indoctrination
Right.
shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands.
See that? This is going to keep happening over and over and over again as long as we keep them in sin. We're going to make them hate one another. We're going to make them look at each other with disgust. That's why when we're out here trying to teach our people who they truly are, they look at us like a bunch of niggas. You can't teach me nothing. But I guarantee you, if I was a white man and I said I had a degree, they would all line up and they would listen. They would listen. Because I look like you, you have such a deep disdain, hatred for yourself and for your brother that, hey, it's hard for you to even look at me in my eye, man, and even reason with me, man. Right? Real.
It says, don't forget, you must pitch the old black males versus the young black male.
And what's going on now? Where's the respect level? Don't nobody respect their elders no more, man. They look at them just like an old dusty nigga, man. These kids are running rampant in these cities, man. Looting, robbing, murdering, killing. As young as 12 or 13 years old. Even killing their own parents. Because they taking games away from them. Or they won't let them go outside. Beating up their teachers in schools. Going buck wild, man. Right? Real.
It says, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves.
See that? The lighter you are, the lighter you are. The darker you are, the blacker, the dirty, the nasty, the make you hurt yourself, man. The nappier your hair is, the more of a gorilla you look like. You a monkey, nigga. That's what they call you, man. Right?
And the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves.
Right?
You must use the female versus the male.
What the Lord say?
You must use the female versus the male.
I don't need no man. I'm above a man. Give me that, hold that, and give me, there's a day that's to come with a woman that can pass a man. Right? You know this shirt? Right. Give me that real quick, right? A woman shall compass a man. Right? Yeah, hold on to that. Right? So he said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, but the Lord sent them against us, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So straight up. Mr. Willie Licks, man. The Lord handed Willie over here, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? Read that when you get there, King. And then read that again real quick.
It says, you must use the female versus the male.
Right?
Got it? There's a day that shall come, Slaki, it says that a woman shall compass a man. Right? So it said that you can use the woman against the man, right? So now that's the scenario, right? That's why you see, look, two little young brothers walking with their mother, but where's Pops? He could be working, you know what I'm saying? Or he might not be in the picture at all.
Right.
But you see that all the time. You used to didn't see that, man. Right? Because back in the 60s, right, it was a working class family, man. The man came and he was an industrial worker or whatever. He was working, he was coming home to his family. But when time went on, what? Let's take that man out of the house and let's destroy that family, man. Let the woman start working, right? Let her get these benefits to where she can no longer depend on her man. She has to depend on the government to survive. That's where food stamps come in. That's where Section 8 come in, right? That's where you can get this benefit, you can get this insurance, but you can't have that man on it, right? Right, read it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 22.
Right?
How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter?
Right?
For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth.
Right?
A woman shall compass a man.
What the Lord say?
A woman shall compass a man.
Now guess what? The women get all the lucrative jobs, the office jobs. She make more money than the man.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get all the benefits in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? They done put her up now. She's masculine. She got the pants on in the house. She can kick the man out. Nigga, I don't need you here, man. You know what I'm saying? Them is my kids. I'll put you on child support. And if you don't pay it, where you going?
Yeah.
It's that simple. Put the woman over the man. Destroy him. Right? Scrooge got it. Right? Yeah.
It says, you must use the female versus the male,
Right.
and the male versus the female.
Right?
You must also have white servants and overseers who distrust all blacks.
What?
Who distrust all blacks.
Well, guess what? You know what they call those overseers nowadays? The police. Put them over those niggas in them neighborhoods and let them patrol them. They don't like those niggas.
Hey, I call them slave patrol.
That's what they are. That's where that comes from. Police, that's what that is. They call them, it's a word for them, Salakia. But that's what it was, slave patrol. The slave catcher, pretty much, that's what they were. You know what I'm saying? They were the lower class whites, man. Right? We make them, hey, go ahead now, you got your rich elite, they up top doing their thing. Then you got the lower class was, hey man, you go out there and watch them niggas out there in that field. And that's what you see in the modern day slave catchers, man. Right? Jump behind you with them blue lights, your heart pounding. You don't know if you're going to jail or you about to go to the grave. You know what I'm saying? Just because you went 1 mile over the speed limit, you might catch 60 bullets in your ass.
Right? You may not make it to jail.
Yeah, you might not make it. Right? Give me that seat, sitting in the lurking places. You know what I'm saying? Right? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, man. There's nothing new. Give me that in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 15, I believe. Right? I'll show you something. Right, Ecclesiastes 3. There's nothing new on this. 1 and 8, that's what it is. 1. Go back there. Yeah, you right. Right there. It's like 3 and 15, I think.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 15.
Right.
That which hath been is now,
Right.
and that which is to be hath already been. And God required that which is past.
Hey, give me no new thing on the sun. Yeah, right. Fine.
The thing, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9. So like, the thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
There's nothing under the sun that's been new, man. Everything that has been is now. Right? Everything that has been done back then is the same thing now, man. Just in another way, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're not in the cotton field singing sweet, low, sweet chariot with chains on your neck. But guess what? Now you're marching in the streets saying no justice, no peace, hands up, don't shoot. It's the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? Just like when you had to go to another plantation to go get the other master, whatever that master told you to go give him, you had to have a collar or a number. But guess what? Now you got a social security card or a passport to track you, man. You got to have a driver's license to drive. Right? Read what you got.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10 and verse 4.
Right.
The wicked, through his pride, will not seek after God.
Right.
God is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
Right.
As for all of his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
See that? And that's the pride of this nation, man. And he's right, man. That's what they feel like. Right? Give me Obadiah 1 and 3. Right? That's what they feel like. They have so much pride that they feel like they can't be moved. Big bad America. You can't touch me. The land of the free, the home of the brave. You can't do nothing to me, man. Right? Read on.
His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
Right.
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
Do he what?
Doth he murder the innocent.
Right. Oh, right.
His eyes are privately set against the poor.
See that? And they sit in the lurking places, man. That's why when you ride down, you gotta watch for
I guess, but now when you
a
think about it, I
speed
gotta have a
trap.
bunch of family from
You know what I'm
Puerto
saying?
Rico, so
Or
it's like,
you see in
what
the
is any
corner
of that
back in the
to me, right?
distance, you see that car, front of the car sticking out, and the police waiting for you. Come on down. They sitting in the lurking places, man, and they seek to murder the innocent, man. Like I said, they can just kill you in the middle of the street, man, and they get off, man.
You ain't made nothing at all.
You know what I'm saying? Give me that in the book of Zechariah 5 and 11.
Can I be here? Is that okay?
Right.
Should I not?
Zechariah 5 and 11. Right? Read on.
Yeah. I just,
He lieth in the
I like a lot of my stuff, what he said.
he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor.
Right.
He doth catch the poor when he draweth him
I like
into
that
his
he's out here.
net.
He's willing to
That's
speak
what
on
they
the
do.
song. That means a lot.
They seek you to make you do something wicked, you know what I'm saying? And really, you don't even have to do that. Like I said, if you make a certain move, hey, guess what? I got you now, nigga. Oh, that cell phone looked like a gun. My bad. Pow, pow, pow. It's over. Or guess what, man? I'm gonna detain you right now. I just got a report that there was a guy in the vicinity. You know, he was a black guy. He looked like you, and that's it, right?
Yeah. And it says he draweth them into his net. He catches them with the net. And that modern day net is the police sirens, man. As soon as the sirens get behind you, hey, it's over with. You can't get away. You can try to take them on a high speed. It's going to end in 2 ways. You either going to crash and burn, or you guys getting pulled over. You might get 60 bullets. You might do 60 years.
And it's that easy. You know what I'm saying? Read what you got.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5.
Right.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Read it again.
whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
What happened with Bokum John, what's his name? Bokum King John, man, he was sitting in his house eating ice cream, and that lady cop busts in there and shoot him and said, oh, I thought that was my house. Guess what? She got what, 3 years? Maybe 5 max? 10, but yeah, doing 5 or something like that. You know, and even our people, the judge is hugging her, saying, oh, it's okay. His brother's hugging her. I don't want her to go to jail. Our people love their oppressors, man. They love them more than their own, man. George Floyd in the street. Even though if the brother even had a counterfeit 20 that he used. Okay, so arrest him, give him his fine, let him go. Why is your knee on his neck for 10 minutes in the middle of the street, man? Knowing he's screaming for his mother, man. And you sit there and you watch him die, man. And you get a couple of years for it. Right? Our little brother, Emmett Till, man. The lady said he whistled at me. Men found him, beat him to death. Got off scot-free. The woman that did that just died a couple weeks back. 80-something years old. Finally met her death. Nothing happened to her. But guess what? Bill Cosby got allegations 30-something years ago. And he's in jail. Damn near on his deathbed, 90-something years old. See that? But they tell you equal in this land. They tell you everybody got rights. We the same. Brothers, it's a lie, man. It's time to wake up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's time to come back to our power, which is the Most High God of the Bible, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. And follow after him. That's the only way we're going to get out of this place, man. That's the only way we're going to be liberated from our captivity. We were brought here because of our disobedience. The Lord sent these nations against you because you refused to serve him. So we cannot be like our forefathers were when they were brought out of Egypt and seen all the miracles of the Most High God. Seen the Red Sea being split before their eyes. Seen the rock being cleaved and water coming out of it. And still rebelled. But we are worse than they. We do more atrocities than they. They didn't get to make it to the promised land. But guess what? You got a second chance, man. You got a second chance. Right? Read what you got.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. And they are hid in prison houses.
See that? This nation holds the biggest percent of jailed people throughout the whole world. About 25% of the whole world. But guess what? 75% of that is our people. And guess what? The 13th Amendment tells you slavery is abolished except you commit a crime and you get locked up. Now you're back in slavery, nigga. So when you go to jail, you are now considered a slave again. Cheap to free labor. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. But they give you the illusion of this is free. This is the home of the brave. Right? You can do whatever you want to do in this land, man. If you're not black or Hispanic. Yeah, you got that right. That's why when you see these bum white people that's running around here and everything, they're two-time losers because they're missing out in their kingdom. This is their kingdom because they run the world. They run this. And there's no lie. There's no secret. I mean, it's the truth. America has 700 embassies around the world. They police the world. They do whatever they want to do. They covet lands. They come into your land and give you a law that you must follow. Right? But hey, man, that's what they do. But the Lord, hey, man, the Lord said this was going to happen, man. Right? Read on.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 21.
Right?
It says, "Be of good cheer, my children. Cry unto the Lord, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies.
See that?
For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you. And joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior."
Right? So, hey, guess what? There's mercy that's coming, man. But you have to be patient. But in your patience, you must possess your soul.
That's right.
How can you possess your soul? Keeping the commandments, reading in the book, learning your power, learning what your forefathers have done, the mistakes that they made, so you don't do it.
Right.
Learning the rules that the Most High has set before you to keep those things that are written thereof, that you can prosper in your ways, man. Right, read them.
Verse 23, "For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our God, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness and everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck."
See that? And eventually, man, if you come back to the Most High God, guess what? The roles are going to reverse, man. And you're going to be back in the righteous state. And guess what? Your oppressor is going to become the oppressed.
That's right.
Thus said the Bible. Not me. I'm just a man, earth and ashes. I could be a liar. But we're going to show you that out of the Bible, man. Right? Give me the gospel. What you going to? Yeah, give me that. Read it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, and verse 7.
Right.
"And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and upon them that hate thee, and persecute thee."
See that? The Lord is going to roll reverse. Right? And we got to be those that come back to him and show him that we real about what we talking about, man. Because all day long we talking about we love God, we love God, we love God. We fill these churches up. You know what I'm saying? Black folks are the most spiritual people on the planet. But guess what? The most wicked too. They'll go to church Sunday, but as soon as they get out, what they doing? They smoking weed, they gang banging, they fornicating, they drunkards, they killing one another. Most of these murderers that's locked up, most of these gang bangers, you ask them what their religion is, or what I'm a Christian. All of them say they Christian. But if you're a Christian, you're supposed to be like Christ. Christ is the man that did not sin. We're not doing that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not happening, man. Right? But I'm going to show you that everything was meant for you, man. Everything was meant for the purpose of you. Right? Read on.
God, this is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 1.
Right?
"I say the truth in Christ, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost,
Right?
that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ."
So Paul is saying he wished he could go through the same things that Christ did for his people. Right? Read on.
"For my brethren,
Right?
my kinsmen, according to the flesh,
Right?
who are Israelites,
Who are who?
who are Israelites,
Right.
to whom pertaineth the adoption."
What's the adoption? Being adopted back to the Father. Right? That's what pertains to the Israelites. Right? So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. That belongs to you. Now the church will tell you that's the Gentiles. The Gentiles get the adoption. Not so. The Bible don't say that. And those Gentiles that it's speaking about are those foreign Israelites that were not in the land, that did not know or understand that they were Israelites. Right? Living in Gentile customs. Right? Read on.
"To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory
Right?
and the covenants
And the what?
and the covenants
Right?
and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises."
Hey man, we was the only ones that was given the covenant in Mount Sinai, man, by Moses' hand, from the Most High God himself, man. You know what I'm saying? All these other nations didn't get that. The nations, guess what? They'll be saved at one point, but guess what? What they'll be saved for. right? You want to find out what they'll be saved for? Give me Isaiah 14. I'm going to show you what the other nations will be saved for.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and verse 1.
Right out.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob,
The Lord's going to have mercy on you. You're Jacob, an Israelite, right?
and will yet choose Israel,
He already chose Israel, right?
and set them in their own land.
Right?
And the strangers shall be joined with
The
them,
strangers are these other nations around you that oppress you, right?
and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob,
They're going to cleave onto you just like you cleave onto them, right?
and the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Right?
And the house of Israel shall possess them,
Shall what?
shall possess them
Right.
in the land of the Lord
For what?
for servants and handmaids.
Why?
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
And that's what's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. These nations that are over you right now, they're going to be underneath your authority in the kingdom of heaven. And you're going to rule them in righteousness under the leadership of the one they call Christ, which is a black man, according to the Bible. Right? What you got? Go ahead, read.
This book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse 26.
Right?
I'm going to start at 25.
Right?
But that which ye have, hold fast till I come.
Right?
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end,
Right.
to him will I give power over the nations.
See that?
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They beat you in a cotton field. Guess what you're going to do? Exactly what's going to happen. Right? They made you work from sun up to sundown. What you going to do? It's that simple. The Lord said that, not me. The Lord said that, man. Right? Give me Isaiah 16, verse 10. Right? Yeah, read that. Show you, man. Right?
This book of Isaiah, chapter 60, and verse 10.
Right?
And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls,
Right.
and their kings shall minister unto thee.
Right.
For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I had mercy on thee.
See that? The strangers are going to build up your walls, man, of your kingdom, man. The kingdom of heaven is for you. The strangers are going to build up the walls the same way as our ancestors built up America. And build up the pyramids in ancient Egypt. And so on and so forth. They're going to build your kingdom up, right? Give me the kingdom of heaven in Revelation 12 and 21. Right? Read on.
This book of Isaiah, chapter 61, and verse 5.
Right?
And strangers shall stand and feed thy flocks,
Right?
and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers.
Right?
But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord.
See that?
Men shall call you the ministers of our God.
Right?
Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves.
See that? You know what I'm saying? Now you're going to be, hey, eating the riches of the Gentiles. You're going to be sitting back watching them in your cotton field, picking your grapes and bringing your grapes to you.
That's right.
There are women feeding you with their hands, you know what I'm saying? Fanning you while you kicking back. You know what I'm saying? Got your feet up on their sons, you know, kick back in a chair. Feed them under the table like they did us. The Lord said that's going to happen. Right? Give me Revelation 13. All right, go ahead.
On this book of Isaiah, chapter 60, and verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
See that? Those nations are going to be utterly wasted if they refuse to serve you. The Lord said, bring them hither and slay them before me. Now, the world will tell you that Christ is this old soft and feminine man that's like, I love everybody. But guess what? The Bible tells you that Christ was an austere man. You know what austere means? He was strict. He was firm. He didn't take no shit. He was a militant black man. And if he was here today, he would be more like Malcolm than Martin. That's how Christ would do. That's why they hated him. Because he wasn't afraid to teach and preach what he's doing, what his father brought him here to do. Because he stood up. And they didn't like that, man. Who do you think you are, nigga? And that's why they put him to death. Because if he was walking today, he would be a nigga just like us. And he would be treated just like us. Right? Read what you got.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 19 and verse 27.
Right.
But those mine enemies,
Right.
which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me.
And that's out of Christ's mouth. Tell them to bring them right here and kill them right in front of my eyes, man. If they don't want to serve me, if they don't want to bow down to you, bring them here and kill them before my face, man. That's Christ. That's Christ.
Indeed.
But this world will tell you he loves everybody. He's, you know, rainbows and kisses and hugs. That's a lie, man. It's a lie. Christ did not play that game, man.
He ain't coming to bring the peace when he come back.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Think not, give me that. Think not that I've come to send peace on earth, right? You said something. That's on fire, right? What you got?
This is the kingdom of heaven.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 12.
Right?
And it had a wall great and high.
Start from the top.
Verse, okay. This is, verse 1. The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1.
Right?
And I saw a new heaven and new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away,
Right.
and there was no more sea.
Right? So he's saying, look, John is telling you, man, I saw the new heaven and the new earth, man. Right? Because everything else is destroyed by thermonuclear fire, man. Right? So he saw the new heaven and new earth coming, right? Jump down.
Verse 12. And it had a wall great and high.
This is the kingdom of heaven.
It had 12 gates.
And what?
It had 12 gates.
They tell you that heaven has one pearly gate. But the Bible said it got what? 12 gates. And why does it have 12 gates? Watch.
Watch out, Israel.
It had 12 gates. And at the gates, 12 angels.
Got 12 bouncers at these gates too. What is a bouncer used for? You won't let nobody in if they ain't supposed to be in there. Right? We don't.
And names written thereon,
They got names on these gates, right?
which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Who?
The children of Israel.
Those names on those gates are the children of Israel. Those are the only people that can get in to this gate of heaven. So why don't they tell you that heaven is all inclusive? Like everybody can come in and have a party. Right? Bob Marley's up there hanging out with what's her name? The golden girl that just died. You know what I'm saying? Betty White. They up there kicking it on clouds and hanging out and flying with wings and halos. Right? Martin Luther King is up there holding hands with JFK. That's a lie.
I know one part about where he said, we come back, we're gonna judge the nations with him.
Yeah, you're gonna sit on thrones judging the nations, right? Read what you got, huh?
This book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 30. In Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34.
Right.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
What the Lord say?
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
But what?
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Christ out of his own mouth said, I didn't come to send peace on this earth, man. I came to send a sword out here. I'm coming with a two-edged sword to execute vengeance upon these demonic nations, man. He said, they're going to say, who was that come from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?
Right.
It's going to look like his clothes have been dyed because he got so much blood on his garments, man. For all the killing he going to do, man. The Lord ain't coming back for no hugs and kisses, man. It's not a game in these last days. In order for us to get the kingdom, we got to do what, man? Give me Matthew 19:16 real quick. Right? What we got to do, kings?
This is
What we got to do to get the kingdom? I'll show you. Don't worry about it.
Follow the commandments.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 16.
Right?
And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Right?
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good?
Right?
There is none good but one,
Right?
that is the Most High.
Right?
But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
Do what?
Keep the commandments.
Right? So if you want to enter into life, you got to keep God's commandments. There's no other way around that. The church tell you the commandments are done away with, though. You don't have to keep the law no more. Because we got Christ and we got grace. But that's a lie. Christ said, I come to do the will of my Father. Right? Matter of fact, give me Matthew 5 and 17, right? I'm going to let you see the words out of Christ's mouth himself. Right? Right? Hold on to that. Is that a Fort Smith boy? What's up, fat boy?
What's happening, baby?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right, then. Yeah, come see me. Come see me. See that? Read on.
God, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 17.
Right?
Think not that I am come to destroy the law
Right.
or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you,
Right? So the Lord said, don't think that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets or the things that was written in the prophets. I didn't come to destroy it, but to fulfill. But when a Christian hears that, they think, see, he fulfilled the law. So that means he is the law. We don't have to keep it anymore because we got grace. But I'm going to show you what he came to fulfill. Right? Read that.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 3 and verse 19. Verse 18. But those things which God before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets,
Right?
that Christ should suffer,
That he what?
that Christ should suffer,
Right?
he has so fulfilled.
So the things that was written in the Old Testament, the prophets, that Christ was going to come to suffer and die for one nation. That's what he came to fulfill. He did not take the law away. That would be really asinine for your heavenly Father to tell you, don't eat pork. Don't sleep with your neighbor's wife. Don't wear mixed fabrics. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Just for him to send his son to say, hey, you ain't got to do that no more. My son, he came to die for you, so don't worry about it. That's stupid. But they make you believe that, and our people are so easily influenced, they follow that. Because they want to follow their own ways. And they love it. Because they can do whatever they want to do. That's why this nation is lawless. That's why it's so wicked. Right? Read on.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17 from the top.
Right?
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Right.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right?
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass,
Heaven is still here, right? You can look up and see the heavens. You can still stand it on the earth, right? Right. Read on.
till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Till what?
Till all be fulfilled.
Right?
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments,
Right.
and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right?
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
See that? And that's what these pastors do. They tell you the law is done away with. So what's going to happen to them? They're going to be named the least in the kingdom of heaven. When Christ comes back, they're going to be deemed liars in those last days, man. Right? But when we come out here and teach to keep the commandments, we're the most hated. They hate us, man. They can't stand what we teaching, man. Because it has to do with order, changing your life, getting yourself together, right? Our people don't want to do that. They want to do their own thing, man. They want to be like these other nations. They want to be lawless. They want to hang out, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Give me that in the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse, I think, 41. Start at 41. 1 Maccabees 41, right? Because our people love to follow the other nations, man. They love it, man. Anything somebody else say, guess what? Yep, we're going to do it. That's what they do, man. Even in the ancient times, it was just like that, man. Right? Read that.
John, this is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41.
Right.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people,
Right?
and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed, according to the commandment of the king.
See that? So look, Antiochus had made a decree. Guess what? Everybody leave your laws so we can all be one nation. What's that sound like? New world order. What is America doing? Going into other lands telling them that y'all gotta fly this LGBTQ flag in y'all's nations. Y'all gotta do all this that we do. Right? The Lord said that was gonna happen. Hold that, read that.
It's like, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25.
Right?
And he shall speak great words against the Most High,
Right?
and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Right?
To think to change times and laws.
So what?
To change times and laws.
That's what they doing. They changing times, they changing laws, and they bringing wicked decrees upon every nation because they want everybody to be one under them. Right? Read on.
Verse 43.
Right?
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion,
See that?
and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath.
And that's what you see around here. Everybody walking on a Sabbath day doing their own thing. Right? Following after these other nations, man. When we're supposed to be holy people. We're separate. We're different. We're supposed to follow the laws of God. But yet we want to follow the ways of the oppressor, man. We want to follow the ways of these other nations because we want to be like them. Many of us consented to their laws to be like them. Right? I got a question for you, sir. Since you've been up here, you've been respectful, man. You've been listening. You know what I'm saying, right? So I got a question, man. How do you feel about the rape, rob, and murder of you know, our people, right?
Man, I think there's a lot of social injustices in general right now in the world. And I think whether, honestly, we're black, white, though I know there's been a lot of trials and tribulations with the black community over the years, I think what you touched on, the New World Order, I think we're definitely heading into it. That touched me. We've got people in very high places that don't care for the United States or any individual nation that are basically controlling the world. And they're taking over, and we're just left to try to do the best that we can. Yeah, so I definitely believe in the New World Order. I think that's where we're headed, and I don't think it's good for anybody, any man out there right now trying to make a living, trying to help his family.
Amen, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of people trying to hold everybody down right now.
What's your nationality, man?
Oh, shit, man. He asked me that. You know, half my family's Puerto Rican. I say I'm white, you know.
On your dad's side,
Yes, sir.
Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Hey, well, guess what, man? Confusing the faces, man. If you are a Puerta Rican on your father's side,
Yeah.
then you would actually be from the tribe of Ephraim.
Is that
Or
right?
the nation of Israel.
Okay.
You would actually be from the tribe of Ephraim, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm all new to this. I like the
Yeah,
fact that you guys are out here filling out what you feel and what you believe in, and you've got enough guts to stand here and spread it
Well,
to
of
everybody.
course, this is the Lord's
No,
work, man. And we're gonna do the Lord's
no,
work.
amen.
But like I said, man, right? So you are what your father is. So if your father's side of the family is Puerto Rican, indigenous Puerto Rican,
Sure.
right? Then you would be from the tribe of Ephraim, from the
okay.
nation of Israel.
Okay.
You would be our people,
I'll have to check.
right?
Yeah.
So, right? Go ahead, yeah, give me two. Right?
Oh, thank you. Yes,
So, you know, and this is only for our people, and you're only preaching and teaching our people.
Sure.
So, if that is true indeed a fact, then you will be our people.
Right.
You will
Yes,
be
sir.
our brother.
Thank
You know what I'm
you
saying?
for
And
being
God will be your God.
Yeah.
man.
I'll be
You
looking
understand? So definitely look into that, man. You know what I'm saying? So once again, you would be from the tribe of Ephraim, from the nation of Israel.
No,
right?
I just wanted to thank you guys for your time today and spreading the message. And I didn't want to interrupt because you know y'all got it going. So I got a jet, but I'm gonna look into this and I'll pull it up online. And
No
once
problem.
again, thank you guys again for doing what you guys do.
Yeah, no problem,
Yeah, no, it's all
man.
good.
Take care of yourself, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys have a good evening.
All right, no problem.
Yes, sir.
All right, ooh, all praise to the Most High, man. You know, the word is going out. You know, so, brothers, give me Romans 13 and 11 real quick, right? It's time to change our minds, man. We're living in the last days, man. And the Lord said, look, man, it's time to come out of this dead sleep, man, that we in. You know what I'm saying?
That's a brother from that, bro. That's my brother, bro. We trying to grab God for last whole week, bro. Like, we died by flesh and all that stuff, bro.
All beautiful, man. All praises to the Most High, man. That's absolutely awesome, man. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord said this, read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11.
Right.
And that knowing the time, and now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Right?
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Right? Because our salvation is close, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, I'm going to come as a thief in the night. Give me Luke 12 and 40 real quick. And our salvation is nearer than we believe, man. Give me Luke 1 and 68. I'm going to show you exactly what salvation looks like, right? But the Lord also said this real quick. Read that.
Book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 40. Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh not in an hour when ye think not.
Right?
It's like, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. Then Peter said unto him,
That's Lord. Right? So the Son of Man, Christ, he's going to come at an hour that we don't even know. We might be standing here right now, and 10 minutes from now, boom, that sky crack open, man, and you see millions of chariots coming out the sky, man. And guess what? Christ is on his way, man. right? So that's why we got to prepare ourselves and always watch and see what's going on in the world to understand the times that we're living in. Occupy yourself in the prophecies, right? Give me that in Sirach 39:1 real quick, King. Sirach 39:1, right? Read what you got. This is salvation. This is what salvation looks like, brothers.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel,
Right.
for he hath visited and redeemed his people.
Right? So that salvation, man, is coming, right? He said, blessed be the Lord God of Israel. He had visited and redeemed his people, right? Read on.
And hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David,
Which is Christ, right?
as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets,
Right.
which have been since the world began. That we should be saved from our enemies.
That we what?
That we should be saved from our enemies
Right?
and from the hand of all that hate us.
That's what's going on, man. We should be saved from our enemies. That's salvation. We're waiting to be saved and delivered out of the hand of our oppressors, man. Right? That's true salvation. Right? Everybody on this world is not oppressed, man. You know? So what would they need to be saved for? This is their kingdom.
You say you only came for his sheep, right?
That's right. The lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? Read that. Right?
39.
What I say? Yeah, 39:1.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 1.
Right?
It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High,
Right?
and is occupied in the meditation thereof,
Right.
will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient,
Right.
and be occupied in prophecies.
And be occupied in prophecy, man. You're going to seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, man. And you're going to be occupied in prophecy. You're going to look out into the world and see what's going on. And you're going to understand, okay, we're living in this time. Okay, this is happening. So I'm reading this in the Bible. So guess what? The next prophecy coming on is going to be this. Okay, we living in this time. We're going to be in this trumpet right now. Right? We're in this seal right now. Right? So I need to be getting myself together all the time, man.
Right.
Right? Give me the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3 and 11. Give me that, King. You know what I'm saying? Second, go back the other way. 2 Peter 3 and 11. Right? Okay, come.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 11.
Right?
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved,
Right.
what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness,
See that?
looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens, being on fire,
Right.
shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Right? So knowing that's coming, what type of people should we be? What type of conversations could we be having, man? What type of walk should we be walking, man? We should be walking in the light of the Most High God, man.
Right.
Keeping His commandments, man. His commandments are not grievous, man. Right? But that's my time, King. This brother gonna come up and continue to edify you, man. I appreciate brothers listening. So y'all continue to stand tight and let this brother come in. It's a mighty brother. He gonna come and continue to teach and preach the word, man. Right? But with that, I'm gonna say, call on Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.
First
Right?
and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man.
Right.
That's the true and correct names of the Heavenly Father, right? In the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, right? Who the world calls Jesus Christ, right? So, can y'all say Yahweh? Yeah. Can you say Yahweh Shai? That's right. All praise to the Most High.
That's right.
Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 4, man. Right? Because the Most High, God, He has a name. Right? God is just a title. Same thing with Christ. Right? He has a name. The letter J wasn't invented until the late 1500s. Right? They weren't calling him Jesus whenever he was on the scene. Right? So bring it up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound, who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? and what is his son's name?
See that? What is his name and what is his son's name? So it's important for us to understand that not only is our God, you know, a man of color. He looks like us, right?
Right.
But he also has a name. It's not just God. The Most High, his name is Yahweh. And his son's name is not Jesus, and he's not white. He looks like us too. His name is Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
Right?
Yahweh Shah.
Exactly. So whenever you pray, right, you pray to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. And Bahashem means in the name of, right? Can y'all say Yahweh Bahashem?
Yahweh Bahashem.
Bahashem?
Bahashem. Yahweh Bahashem.
Yeah, Yahweh Bahashem. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Bahashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Yeah, we gonna get it. Let's do it. All right, so Yahweh
Yahweh
Bahashem,
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh
Yahweh
Bahashem,
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh
Yahweh
Bahashem,
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
That's how you say the Most High's name and pray in the name of his son Yahweh Shah.
Oh, praise.
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah.
All praise.
Right?
Yahweh Shah.
Exactly.
That's
All
right.
praise to the Most
That's
High.
right. That's right.
Right?
That's right.
The Most High's name is going to be magnified throughout the four corners of the earth. Man. You know what I'm saying? And it's important for our people to understand that our God, the God of heaven and earth, the God that made us kings and priests and gods in this earth, he has a name, and it's Yahweh. Right? And his son's name is Yahweh Shai, man. And the Most High, he has great things in store for his people. How y'all brothers and sisters doing? Y'all doing all right? Lovely couple. We love to see it. Y'all got a couple minutes to hear the word of the Lord? Well, y'all ever heard of the Israelites? Real quick. Just 20 seconds. Let me give you a flyer, brother. Right? Hey, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Hey, many are called, but few are chosen.
Right.
And that's the thing. Not everybody's going to receive it. Not everybody wants to tap into that power.
Right.
How you doing, brother? You got a couple minutes, man?
What's up with it?
Hey, all praise to the Most High. What's your ethnicity, man? Your race. What's your race? Like, you ain't the color of your skull cap, though. You know what I'm saying? That's black. You light skin? No, I'm with you for sure. So look, our people who call themselves quote unquote black, where did we get that term from? Right? Who started calling us black?
White man.
White men, right? Exactly. And if we don't call ourselves black, then what we calling ourselves? What? African American, niggas, light skin, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's because these terms were put upon us by our oppressors, by the people that took us in slavery, right? The thing is, brother, that you see yourself on the sign right here, would you be a so-called American black, right? You actually come from the tribe of Judah,
That's right.
right? You ever heard that before? Have you ever heard that Christ is a so-called black man?
I believe in
Yeah. Do you believe Christ is black? Yeah, well he is. But guess what? He wasn't calling himself black. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't calling himself African American. Right? He was calling himself a Jew. Let me get John chapter 4, verse 22. Right? Christ, he was calling himself a Jew because that's who he descends from, Judah. Right? And he looks like us. Right? So what are we? If we are the people of Christ and he's a Jew, what does that make us? Jew. Exactly. We the Israelites.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And what does that make us? Let me do Deuteronomy 7:6. Us being the Jews, the Israelites, that makes us God's chosen people. And Christianity, they teach you that everybody's God's people. But that's not what the Bible teaches. The Bible teaches that God's chosen people are above everybody else. And Christ out of his own mouth, who is a black man again, he said that he's only coming to save his people. Right? He's only coming to save his people, not everybody. What you got? Yeah, bring that up. Watch this.
This is the book of John, chapter 4 and verse 22.
This is red letter. This is Christ's words.
Ye worship. It's like, ye worship. Ye know not. It's like, off on the top. Ye worship. Ye know not what.
Right?
We know what we worship.
Go ahead.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Come on, read that one more time about yourself.
Verse 22 from the top. Ye worship. Ye know not. It's like, Ye worship, ye know not what.
Right?
We know what we worship.
We know what we worship.
What's
Who
that?
do we worship?
Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah.
That's right, go
That's
ahead.
right.
For salvation is of the Jews.
It's of the who?
It's of the Jews.
See, salvation is of the Jews. It's our people that gets that salvation, right? Meaning the saving from the destruction that's coming to America, right? And God, He feels some type of way about our people compared to these other people, right? I'm gonna show you what God feels about us. Go ahead, bring that up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Go ahead.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee
Right.
to be a special people unto himself
Right.
above all people.
Wait, the same as.
Above all
All
people.
people.
Wait, equal to.
Above all people.
Wait, you see that? You believe in the Bible, right? This is God telling the people that He just freed from Egypt that, look, I love y'all so much. Y'all are so special to me and so holy to me. And I'm going to set you above everybody else. That's where.
Upon the face of the earth.
See that? We're more better. We above everybody that's upon the face of the earth, man. Right? That's what God said. Hey, that's in the Bible. The chariots of God. Right? You've been hearing in the media about all these chariot sightings or all these UFO sightings and stuff like that. You been hearing about it? It's because we living in the last days, and the so-called UFOs, which are actually the chariots of God, those are going to be the vehicles that are going to deliver the Jews, the children of Israel. That's what's going to save us, man, from the destruction. So-called UFOs, and they're making themselves known, right, in the earth. That's why the FBI and the Space Force, they're coming out and having to release all these documents because everybody is seeing chariots in the sky, man.
Right.
Right.
They're trying to cover it up.
Exactly. I mean, they're trying to cover it up, act like it's spy balloons and
Right.
and you know, unidentified aerial phenomena. They're coming up with all these names for it, but it's the chariots of God. And the reason that they created a Space Force is because they're going to try and fight against Christ whenever He returns. Man, that's in the Bible.
That's right.
Let me get to the book of 2 Ezra chapter 13 from the top. Yes, they're going to try to fight against Christ. That's how proud these other nations are, especially the so-called white men. Yeah, they're going to try to fight against Christ because Christ is coming back with thousands and thousands of angels to save His people. And they have a Space Force. They literally have a military operation going on in the sky right now. They got drones, they got satellites, they got military weaponry in the sky right now to try and fight against Christ upon His arrival. And they know, because they know the Bible too. They know who we are. They know what we're expecting. We're expecting the almighty salvation that Yahweh has promised for His people. Right? Let me get 2 Ezra chapter 13 in the Apocrypha. And the Apocrypha, whoever can get there first. Right? But nevertheless, we got to understand that salvation is nigh, man. It's close.
Right.
And before salvation comes, destruction has to happen. And a lot of destruction is about to come on this earth. You can see how it's kind of playing out. They're talking about, oh, the cash is worthless now, it's crashed, it's collapsed, it's crippled. The Fed are coming out with a new digital currency, right? America is in danger of defaulting on their debt if they don't raise the debt ceiling. All of these things happening all at the same time that Russia-Ukraine tensions are ramping up, right? China and America tensions are ramping up over Taiwan, man, right? So all of these things are happening in the earth. And at the same time, it's only getting more wicked. There's only more wickedness that's going on. People are still asleep. People still just getting high out their mind. You know, hitting licks, trying to hit all these women. Women, they propagating themselves out to be harlots and thoughts, man. Right? Even though all of these signs are happening in the earth, our people still aren't trying to get right with God. Right? But that's what God said. As the end gets closer, the times are going to become more and more evil.
That's right.
Right? You got that? 2 Ezra 13 from the top. Right. I'm going to show you that these nations are going to try to fight against Christ when He comes back. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 13, verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, and I dreamed a dream by night.
Right?
And lo, there arose a wind from the sea,
Go ahead.
and it moved all the waves thereof.
Uh-huh.
And I beheld, and lo, that a man waxed strong within thousands of heaven.
So this man that is talking about is Christ. It said he beheld a man wax strong with the thousands of heaven. What are the thousands of heaven? Those so-called UFOs, right? So this man, that's Christ, he's coming back with them UFOs, with them chariots, right? Go ahead.
With the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
See that? Let me get the book of Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. It said, hey, when he looked down upon the earth and everything was trembling. Why? Because y'all ever seen, what's that movie with Will Smith?
Independence Day.
Independence Day. Y'all ever seen Independence Day?
Hey, y'all step back for a second. Go
You
ahead.
see how they was, yeah. So we reading it right now. Right? Yeah. Exactly. Right. So we reading about how these chariots are gonna storm the earth, man.
Take a flyer,
UFOs, it's gonna be a so-called UFO invasion, man.
Get a fly.
That's what it's gonna be. And so-called alien invasion, but it's not aliens, it's angels, man. That's who's coming back with Christ. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a brief rundown up until what's gonna happen when this happens, right? So we're living, heaven and hell is a condition, right? There's really two definitions for heaven. Heaven is the sky, right? And then you have heaven, like rulership, dominion, having peace, having prosperity. That's also heaven. It's not a place past the sky where it's all cloudy and it's white and it got a pearly gate. No, heaven is a condition, just like hell is a condition, right? Our people have been catching hell ever since we came over here off them slave ships, man. You know what I'm saying? Hell is not someplace underground where you're getting poked with a pitchfork by a big red man,
That's right.
right? That's the devil. Hell? Nah. I'm gonna show you where the confusion is, right? Because America is going to burn up with fire. And that fire is the nuclear missiles that Russia has, that China has, that Brazil has, that India has. Exactly. America is spiritual Egypt and spiritual Sodom. And what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? It got turned into ashes and dust. It got destroyed with fire and brimstone. And America is going to go out the same way. Because God, he made these scientists, these engineers, that created something so devastating, so unbelievably strong, like the atomic bomb. But that was 80 years ago. Now they have hypersonic ballistic nuclear missiles, man. Missiles that are faster than the speed of sound, man. Literally. Right? And God said that is what's going to be used to destroy America. Nuclear missile, man. That's in the Bible. You believe it? Okay, bet. All praise. I can show you. But we're going to finish this first. Come on. You got the Revelation 1? Yeah, we're going to stick on this topic first. Come on. I want to show how these nations, they're going to try to fight against Christ. But again, matter of fact, we'll just lead all the way up into it, right? How y'all sisters doing? Y'all got a couple minutes? Let's give you a flyer. All right, well, check it out. So, boom. Leading up into where these nations try to fight against Christ, right? So first, all hell is going to break loose in America. Jacob's trouble. Let me get that. Let's start with Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Yeah. We're going to run it all the way back, right? Because that's what time we're approaching.
Bring it out.
We are approaching a time in which such tribulation has never been brought upon us. It's going to be even worse than slavery. They're going to be killing our people wholesale like dogs in the streets, man. Our people going to be dying of starvation. Our people going to be getting murdered out here, man. Right? Because
Hey, matter of fact, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like a couple days ago, bro, I had a dream like that, bro.
hell was breaking loose, huh?
Yeah, like, I don't know, like these dudes, I don't know, like police, like, but they talking
All people.
Yeah, I had to take a week ago, bro. Like,
Yeah, bro, it's because it's about to get literally crazy, man. I'm telling you, whenever the money fails in America, whenever you cannot, whenever your dollar is literally worthless, and you no longer
Did I give
get
you a
imports
flyer?
coming to America, America's no longer getting goods. And if you can't just go to Walmart to get any food no more. You can't go to McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? All business is gonna close down. That's what's coming to America.
That's
People
right.
are gonna lose their mind. Especially whenever they can't pull out their digital device called a phone
How y'all doing?
and just see what's going on. Right? Because hey, that's gonna be cut off too. You don't have no access to any type of cellular device. The TV ain't gonna work. You can't go to Walmart. The store shelves are gonna be empty, right? All of this is coming. Read that out.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7 and verse 30.
30 verse 7.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great,
That day is great.
so that none is like it.
Uh-huh.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
That's what's approaching. Jacob's trouble. Who is Jacob? The 12 tribes of Israel. People that you see on the sign. Trouble is not a good thing. Jacob's trouble is a time where our people are going to face massive persecution. And when you look into history, man, you see that our people have already faced massive persecution. When you read about the Roman siege, the siege of Jerusalem. When you read about how our people went in slave ships and crossed the Middle Passage and millions of us died, man. Imagine a day worse than those events, man. That's what's coming.
I believe in the Antichrist.
There's many antichrists.
That's right.
All an antichrist is somebody who rejects the Messiah,
Right.
right? And someone who doesn't follow the Messiah's words. Yeah, exactly. There's many. Because again, Christianity, they teach that at the end, there's going to be this one antichrist that's going to deceive the whole world, but that's already taken place.
That's right.
In the image of the beast.
That's right.
Right? So again, Jacob's trouble is approaching. So what's going to happen is, let me get the book of Psalms. No, matter of fact, let me get the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. Matter of fact, 16. And I need the arrows. He shall shoot his arrows from the end of the earth. I think it's verse 10. Right? And let me get Isaiah chapter 56. Isaiah chapter 56. And I need the waster. He has created the waster to destroy. Do you know what
Yeah,
verse
I
that is?
think that's 56.
Yeah.
56.
Yeah, 16. He shall shoot his arrows to the end of the world. Right? Yeah, start right there. Yeah. Wait, right here. Yeah. No.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 13.
Watch this, brother.
For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrow that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the end of the world. Into the end of the world.
So what arrow have y'all ever heard of that's being shot from one end of the earth to the other? What kind of arrow is doing that? No, not the word of God. What kind of arrow? Because what is an arrow? Something that an archer uses, and he puts in his bow, and he strings it back, and he shoots it. But this type of arrow, read that again.
Isaiah 54 and 16.
2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 13 from the top. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow.
Start at verse 5, and then jump to 13.
Verse 5.
Listen, brother.
Plagues are sent unto you.
What are?
Plagues are sent unto you.
So God said plagues are sent. So whenever we start seeing all hell break loose in society, that's the plagues of God beginning to hit this earth, man. Right? And they're already beginning, but we're seeing it on a minor level.
Right, like diseases and stuff like that.
Yeah. But it's gonna get crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna get absolutely nuts. And that's gonna be the beginning of the plagues of the Most High. And behold, plagues are sent unto
Talking
you.
about the diseases when it come like somewhere than COVID.
Oh, way worse than COVID.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be so bad, man. You read about in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, it said those that have received the mark of the beast are gonna have boils all over themselves, or like sores, major sores, man. Right? It's gonna be like there was something back in history, right, called the Black Death, the Black Plague,
The
bubonic plague.
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna be worse than that, man. The bubonic plague, I believe it killed like a quarter of the people over there in Europe, man.
Yeah.
A quarter of the people over in Europe.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, it's gonna be way worse than that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you saying that
It say that those that are in the city are gonna die of the sword and of disease.
so you believe in the mark of the beast?
Yeah, the mark of the beast is spiritual, right? If you assimilate to this man's system, the white man's system, and his philosophies, his religions, his ideologies, his holidays, then you are accepting the mark of the beast.
No pagan holidays, bro.
Right?
What you mean, like money?
Okay, so like boom. If you're going against these scriptures right here, and this word and the laws, statutes, and commandments of God, then you are accepting the mark of the beast.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So let's say the money fails, right? And Esau, the so-called white man, he comes in and tries to save the day, and he says, look, everybody, you can have this food, you can have X amount of food and X amount of currency if you just accept this chip, right? If you accept that chip, look, you already marked. It don't matter if you took it or not. If you even have that second thought, okay, look, should I get it? Should I not? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to finesse my way around it. Hey, look, you cannot submit to that man's system. Otherwise, you marked. And if you take a chip, if you put anything in your body, man, that they're trying to give you, you're accepting the mark, right? So the mark of the beast, like I said, is spiritual. It's sin.
So it could be a rapture.
A rapture. So we're finna get into all of that, right? So we're finna get into all of that. We building up into it.
So the word, it's already under judgment, right?
The world, yeah, oh yeah, major judgment. Just a few months ago, over 50,000 people died in an earthquake over in Turkey, man. I don't know if y'all seen that, right? Yeah, hey, that's facts. That happened not even too long ago. But check it out, right? So I'm leading up into it, brother. Go ahead.
Verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss.
Go ahead.
When they begin to be shot until the end of the world.
So these arrows, God said, they are sharp and they're going to be sent from the ends of the world, from one end of the earth to the other one, right? So are these actual arrows, like, archers be shooting with? What are these arrows?
Plague,
What you think?
type bombs.
You close? What you think? Hey, that's right. It's nuclear.
You just said something.
Exactly. Exactly. So God is talking about plagues that he's sending upon the earth, and one of the plagues is him sending arrows from one end of the earth to the other. Hey, exactly, because that's how God operates. God doesn't have to come down into our earthly realm and destroy us himself.
Right.
He operates in the
Exactly.
But who's doing it? Mankind. Esau. He's destroying this world.
That's right.
So-called white man. The Most High, he operates in the realm of men. Meaning, he has a whole bunch of spirits, and he can sit down at any given time to do his will. Meaning what? He sent a spirit in you to come over here to hear this word.
That's right.
Right? He has a spirit upon us to come out here and to teach this word.
That's right.
Right? He can have a spirit put on anybody to do anything at any given time.
That's right.
Right? So, we're going to show you what these arrows are. Go ahead, bring that up.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 16.
Right.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coal in the fire.
Right? So a smith is a blacksmith. They create weapons. Right? So God said that he's the one that created the smith to make the weapons. Right? Go ahead.
And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Go ahead.
And I have created the waster to destroy.
See? God created the waster to destroy. So that's what those arrows are. It's the waster, man. Because what is a nuke gonna do? It's gonna waste everything in its path, man. Right? One nuclear bomb. I mean, you can go to like a nuke simulator on your phone or on anything, man, and you can see what an atomic bomb that was dropped over there on Hiroshima and Nagasaki would do to a city like New York, man. I'm talking about 2 million people dead in an instant, man, in a flash. But guess what? There was over 200,000 people killed by an atomic bomb 80 years ago. 2 bombs, right? 80 years ago. How much more advanced do you think the technology is now in 2023, man? You know what I'm saying? That's that waster, man. Bring that out, King.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 12. If he turn not, he will wait his sword.
He's gonna wait his sword.
He hath bent his bow and made it ready.
Right?
He had also prepared for him the instrument of death.
Right?
He ordained his arrow against the persecutors.
Right?
Behold,
And that's it. So the instruments of death are his arrows, which are the waster, which is going to destroy the wicked and destroy America, man. Right? So that's what's coming after Jacob's trouble. Like whenever all this hell breaking loose over here in America, hey, them arrows getting sent. Right? Because at the same time Jacob's trouble is kicking off, guess what else is going to be kicking off? World War III, man. World War III. So as it starts ramping up here in America, there's a famine going on, people looting, people robbing, people killing, martial law is declared. World War III is also going to be on the scene. So at the peak of Jacob's trouble, guess what? Them nukes are going to start flying. And when them nukes start flying, guess who's coming along with them nukes? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man.
That's right.
Because what? He's going to save his people from the fire that's coming to destroy America. Let me get that in the book of Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. Right? And because everybody here in this land, bro, you got to understand how polluted America is. How wicked it is. And how many people have been deceived and indoctrinated by the American way. Because the American way is contrary, meaning completely opposite of God's will. Right? And only the people, only the Israelites that repent and come out of the so-called American way by coming back to God's commandments and laws and the faith, right? Only those will be saved. Yeah. The elect. Yeah, the elect. Yeah. And that's Revelation 7. We'll get it. Revelation 7, right? So, because we got to understand. Yeah, hold on. We got to understand, right? There's a set number of people upon this earth that are going to be saved, and a set number of people on this earth that are going to be destroyed. Here in America, 2/3 of our people are going to die. They're going to die of a famine, the sword, the gun, or the nuclear fire, man, or a disease. A plague is going to hit them and destroy them. 2/3 of our people are going to suffer that fate. Y'all know what the percentage of 2/3 is? Nah, the percentage, like point what? 2/3. No, you close, a little bit close.
6,000.
Nah. So 2/3. Like if I said, what's 1/2? If you put it in a percentage. No, 1/2 is 50%. Half. You know what I'm saying? Right? So 2/3 is 0.666. Right? That's 2/3. 666, right? So when you read about the number of the beast is the number of our people that's going to assimilate into the beast system and are doomed and destined for destruction.
That's right.
Right? But the 1/3, they're going to make it through that, man. They're going to be saved from the fire. How are they going to be saved from the fire? The so-called UFOs, the chariots of God, the angels. Right? So let's get it. Read up.
this is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13 and verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord,
Right.
2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
And what?
And die.
2 parts are going to be cut off and die, man.
But the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire.
Through the what?
Through the fire.
Through the what?
Through the fire.
See, the third, they're going to be brought through the fire, man. The rest, they're going to be getting dissolved, man. Getting disintegrated. Turned into dust. Vaporized.
So it's like we're saying like all the follow the command from the say what
But the wicked are going to get burnt up, man. Yeah. Let me- Nah. So they're not gonna be burning in the afterlife, right? So they're gonna be put to death, and they're gonna have a very painful death, right? And then what's gonna happen is their spirit is gonna go up to the Father. Their spirit is gonna go back to the Father, and their spirit will be at rest until they come back into the kingdom. But in the kingdom, the ones who died that fate or died that death by pain, they're gonna be on a lower level than those that made it through the fire the first time.
That's right.
That makes sense? Like the people that get saved, they gonna reign with Christ. They're gonna have rulership and servants and be rulers over cities and countries and all of this. They're gonna have it. They're gonna be like the elites of this world. right? You know how you got the richest people upon the earth that you don't even hear about. That's how they behind the scenes pulling all the strings. That's what the elect are gonna have in the kingdom, man. Like the people that make it through the fire.
So they made me slave.
Who? Which ones? The ones who die? Not of our people. They're not gonna be slaves. But you know how like you got white people over here on this side. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're gonna be like a supervisor.
Yeah,
or like, you know
yeah,
what
I'm saying.
they gonna have a modest abode, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be struggling or nothing like that, but you know, they're not gonna be having it. Feel me? Because they didn't want to go through the affliction and the trials and the tribulations. You said what?
People gonna be like masters of the world.
Yeah. He said ministers of the world.
I said like masters of the world. You said people gonna be masters of the world, like that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because whenever, see, that's the thing. Christianity says when you die, you go to heaven, right? If you're bad, you go to hell. That's not what the Bible says.
Sometimes all that's a lie.
Exactly. When our rulership is going to be here on the earth, just like the white man, right? The white man, he didn't have to die to go to heaven, to get his heaven, to build up his kingdom and to reap all these riches and to live everywhere and to travel and see all the beautiful things that this earth has to offer.
Right.
Right? Because, bro, hey man, I don't know how much y'all travel or how much y'all got to experience in this earth, but there are some things that are just so beautiful that this earth has. I mean, it's the Most High's creation. We've been trapped here in this prison box called America, right? All we see is concrete, right? All we see is the hood and the projects and the slums, right? But this earth has so much to offer, and the whole earth was made for us. So God said that the people that make it out, they're going to reign with Christ, and they're going to rule over the nations. The nations are going to serve them. Same way that we got to serve all these other nations, they're going to serve us. That's what the Bible says, right? What you holding? Yeah, come. So yeah, bring that out.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 35. For after death shall judgment come, when we shall live again.
See that? So the concept of regeneration or reincarnation is biblical, right? Because, I mean, y'all might wonder, like, damn, why are we always catching hell? Why is it always us? Why are we going through these things? It's because we paying for the sins of our forefathers. But guess what? We are our forefathers.
That's right.
Right? The Bible says that you come back every 3 to 4 generations. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Good seeing you again. Hey, but yeah, the Bible says you come back every 3 to 4 generations, man. And when you come back, you're going to be living out the judgment from your past life.